Morning, Dual Coast fans. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Dual Coast Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Skoka, joined by my co-host on the West Coast, Russ Rogers, joined by very special guest this morning, Lori Levine, Scott's Protein Bowls. Lori, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Russell. Thank you so much for having me. Hi, Dual Coast listeners. Proud to be here.
That's awesome. Lori, this is amazing. You know, I love a woman that shows up like in a blazer, earrings, got the AirPods in and a ball cap. You're sporting it all.
That's me in a nutshell. I'm ready for anything.
Oh, that's awesome. How's your morning so far?
Going well. Babysitting my sister's dog, so hoping they're going to behave while we're on this podcast. But otherwise, great.
What kind of dog?
Yeah, what kind of dog?
She has a Cavapoo, and right down here is my Cockapoo, and all they do all day long is stare at me. So I could, its silence is deafening, but they just like literally are staring all day, every day.
Do they follow you all around the house?
All everywhere. They cannot exist. So I was actually going to try to do this from a Starbucks, but then I decided I'm going to tough it out, and they're just going to have to, rest. So that's what they're doing right now.
That's awesome. Last week we had Amberly Lago on, and she was like, I walk my dog at 7:30, every week. I mean, every day. And so she goes, I know my dog is going to be just sitting here just like Ansley, just wanting for me to walk the dog. Like, what's up? This is our time.
It's so true. It's so true. They're so regular, like scheduled, but they just sit and bark at nothing out the back door, out the back window. They can't see a thing, and they just bark for the past hour. I think the dog walker just got here, so I think we're good.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Good. Yeah. Well, we are so thankful that you are here. Yes. We're sorry that Scott couldn't make it. We understand that work is priority. Got to pay the bills, got to make the money. And so it would have been great having him on, but we're so blessed to have you. And, I go back and I think about the time that we met down in Orange County, Dave Meltzer's. Yeah. Right. And, it's been a bit, and it's just... I've tried to, work out our schedule so that we could get you on, and finally it worked out. And so we're so grateful to have you, because I cannot wait for our listeners to hear your story.
Yes.
Thank you.
And, the story of overcoming, and you're a battler. You've done a lot, but, I was just, when I was sitting in the room listening to your story, I was just so impressed, and I knew that right after the event that I needed to meet both of you. I'm so grateful, because we now have this friendship that we share, and so I would just love to go back, and first of all, let's talk a little bit about how you and Scott initially met.
Oh, we're going way back. Okay. So we actually met in college, believe it or not.
Okay.
So we were 20, probably 20 at the time. I was in my senior year. Scott was in his second senior year. He just apparently didn't leave on time. And so his friends had all graduated. They were all gone. And there he was. And I was busy. I was president of my sorority and very busy and active. And he kind of waited around. And we, it really kind of was a love affair at first sight. It was just like nothing I had ever felt before. And it was just nice. But we really started as friends because we were both so busy doing our thing, in college, and then graduated college. And we were engaged pretty quickly. I was engaged at 22 and we were married at 24. So we were pretty young. And then, we got married. And then we have two boys, two wonderful, amazing boys, Ben and Justin. Ben's 25, lives in Manhattan. Justin's 30 and lives in Manhattan with his wife, Paulina. And Scott and I are going to be grandparents in April.
Wow. Oh, man, that's coming soon.
Really soon. So I am trying to sell a lot of protein balls between now and then.
Got to spoil that child.
Oh, yeah. Nothing but the best.
Oh, that is awesome. How was it for you when your oldest went from 29 to 30?
For me, it was okay. For him, I don't know. Uh, I mean, I turned 30 last year. I wish I turned I turned
Well, you have babies
60.
young.
I turned 60 last year, and he turned 30. So it was
Very
kind
cool.
of some big milestones all around. But it's cool, it's actually amazing to raise kids and then see when they become adults,
Yeah,
and we've had so many moments over the years where we're looking at each other like, wow, we did that. Like, that's pretty amazing that he knows
that's
that or can
awesome.
do that, and they don't live with you, they're not with you all the time, but yet they bring forward, their lessons and their kindness and their experiences, and you feel proud, which is
Yeah,
huge.
That's
yeah. My son is 29 and turns
Oh,
30
okay.
on Saturday.
ah,
Okay.
wow.
Gotcha.
So, for me, it's my youngest. So all
Okay.
of my
Okay.
kids are going to be in their 30s,
Wow.
which is crazy to think. And he's like, "Don't remind me." He goes, "I just don't." He goes, "I just don't want to leave my 20s."
There's something about leaving those 20s, it's a very big difference.
Sure.
But you know what? They've traveled the world. They've gone to places I hope to get to. And now it's time. Let's settle down. Let's get those babies. I'm ready.
Yes.
Scott's ready.
Oh man, your world is going to change in such a great way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just having grandbabies. I have five.
Oh,
So
wow.
having
Wow.
grandbabies is just unbelievable.
I can't wait. That's what we hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're the
So,
first of our friends to become grandparents. So
oh,
that's pretty
nice.
exciting. Everyone thinks they're having a baby. Our whole group of friends is like, when is our baby getting here? So just have to hope my son and daughter-in-law feel the same when we want to borrow the baby and stuff and hang out.
Oh, that's awesome. So take us through life after college.
Yep.
What happened over those coming years?
Sure. Scott and I, we lived in Long Island, worked, partied, all great, had the kids. And then I'm a CPA by trade. But when I raised my kids, I worked part-time, and then I stopped working, and I really kind of just raised my kids and took care of things, and did that for a while. And then out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, in 2017, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, which was singly the hardest, toughest minute phone call that I ever received. I had gone for my mammogram on a Tuesday, and 2 days later, on Thursday, Scott and I were waiting for our Uber to get to our house to leave to go to Michigan for our son's college graduation, which was the next day, and it was also my birthday the next day. And the phone rings, and it's my doctor, who said the words you don't want to hear, Lori, I hate to tell you this, but you have breast cancer. And
Mm.
it hit me, it knocked me over. And I just had to hang up the phone and tell Scott. And we were in disbelief. Now the Uber's on our driveway. We have to leave. We're going to the airport where all our friends are. We're all flying to Michigan together for the amazing weekend. And we treated ourselves, got into that car. He was on one phone, I was on another. And by the time we got to the airport, I had three breast surgeon consultations set up and an MRI scheduled. So we got to the airport, got there, and somehow decided we're not going to talk about this. We're just going to, put it aside. If you don't talk about it, it's not real, right? And I'm not ruining my son's graduation. I'm a person who just like wants to be positive, wants to see the best in everything. But at that minute, until I saw the doctors and had the MRI done, I didn't know if I was fine or if I was going to die. So
Mm.
we had to just fake it all weekend. My parents were at the graduation and my sister, and they knew what was going on. So there was moments of, hugging and crying in bathrooms and things, but got through the weekend. I don't know how. And then after graduation, we told our son, we came home, I had the MRI, and my doctor said, okay, we can handle this. It was a stage 2 cancer, two different types, and they suggested radiation and a lumpectomy. And so I said, okay, that sounds good. And then I went to a couple of doctors, and they wanted to be more radical and do a double mastectomy. And I said, you know what? For me, less is more. I had had other health issues in the past. And you know what? If this doctor who I trusted said, let's just do it this way, I said, let's do it this way. So it was a really tough summer of 2017. Got through it as best as I could, but I'm a very positive, upbeat person. So I'm always looking for good, for a silver lining. And it was hard to find, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to plan things for after each day after radiation. So I'm going to see a friend. I'm going to walk the High Line. I'm going to, go see a show or see one of my kids, or Scott and I will stay in the city overnight. And when I look back now, which is 8 years ago, so I'm 8 years clean.
Yes.
Um, that's what I remember. I remember all the good things and I don't remember all the bad, but I remember laying there getting radiation thinking, I have to go. Like I have plans this afternoon. And that's what got me through. But
Wow.
you go through a journey like that. And I'm a type A, I'm a control person. You feel very out of control. You're at the mercy of whatever they tell you.
Yeah.
I had to be there for 5 days a week for 8 weeks, and had friends and family driving me back and forth. And afterwards I felt like garbage. They put poison in your body to kill poison. And so I went to a nutritionist and I said, help me. I want to get in the best shape of my life. And she did. And I got to the best shape of my life. But she said, no more protein bars. They have sugar, they have soy, they have preservatives. They sit on the shelf for a year. Nobody should be eating them. So
Mm.
I would come home and complain to Scott, my husband, who is a CPA, CFO, MBA, accounting. We're accounting finance people. And he said, you've gone through so much. I haven't been able to really help. I'm going to create a little snack for you. And he came up with this little round peanut butter cacao protein ball, which Russ is how we met. You were trying the protein balls,
I
and it
was.
was perfect. It was perfect. I carried it everywhere I went, started to feeling better, going to classes, seeing friends, and it became a thing. And everybody wanted them. And they leave our house with Ziploc, like gallon-sized Ziploc bags. And everybody was joking that we had to start a business. But I'm a mom. I was recovering from breast cancer. Scott commutes 3 hours a day for work, and we weren't starting a business. But fast forward, 2020 came, COVID. Our sons were in their 20s, and they moved home with my now daughter-in-law. And it was a weird, scary time in the world. And I said, guys, the world might not end. So let's roll protein balls. And so that's what we did. I ordered, we had 50-pound bags of ingredients all over the house. We had chest freezers literally in the dining room, like everywhere, made an inventory. And as you guys know, the world didn't end. So
Still here.
that was still here, all of us, thankfully. So that's how that's the true origin of how this all happens. Should I keep walking you through, or
No, I just want to know, like, what made Scott
Yeah,
think
that's
I'm going to create a protein ball?
I'm
Like,
curious.
how did that come about? Like, who thinks I'm just going to create something healthy for my wife?
Yeah.
Right?
so it really is a love story at its core. It's a man who watches his wife go through a terrible health journey, but he feels helpless. So all of a sudden, there's something I needed. And he said, I'm going to figure this out for you. He knew I like to eat protein bars because I sustain myself, on a lot of those. And he knows I have a sweet tooth. He went online, just threw stuff together. He kind of used the metrics that I was looking for something clean and healthy, but it also had to taste good. And he bought a store-bought protein powder, and then over time kind of refined it. And somebody at one point said, can you make one with almond butter? And he did. So, and that's how our second flavor was born. But it truly was a labor of love, to try to help his wife through a tough time. And I wish I had a snack like that when I was going through it, but he created it for me after. And then I decided like the whole world should be able to have this delicious, healthy snacking option. So,
Yeah.
so in the summer of 2020, we made all these, we decided we have a business. So Scott was still working. My older son and younger sons were working, but my now daughter-in-law and I, we put up a Instagram account, went on a Google Doc. A local bagel store got wind of it and said, you know what, I'm going to sell these and you can use my kitchen after 12 when the bakers leave. And now
Oh,
I have a little business. It grew from one bagel store to another to another. We had a couple of flavors. Then we got into a local supermarket. King Cullen is the chain. You guys don't have that. Well, actually, Dan, you're in the city, I'm assuming.
I'm on the island.
Right.
I'm by you. I'm on the island.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So King Cullen, put us into 9 supermarkets, and it was like the biggest deal. It was so exciting. They loved the fact that we were local, and it was a a made in Long Island product. And then we were on an episode of Change Makers on a local TV station, Channel 11, and King Cullen called and said, "We're going to put you in all our stores." And we kind of just kept going from there. But Scott works full time. So I have a kid who helps me. His name's Kyle. He's not a kid, but he's 28, and he's been my right hand through this whole thing, wearing every hat, like me. And we've grown it to really, it's kind of crazy. So in 2020, it's 2026. In 2021, I started a website, grew the D2C business, slowly growing this retail business. But we picked up a distributor in 2024, which was great. So we were able to go into a lot more stores. And then in 2025, I decided I'm stepping back. Not me personally. I want to rebrand the company and reformulate, because, like I said earlier, when Scott made them, he used the store-bought protein blends. We weren't worried about a shelf life. And when we went to go sell them, I had to have them lab tested. And Scott, being an accountant who was making protein balls, when the batter felt dry, he threw in water, which is pretty much the worst thing to do when you're going to sell a product that needs to last on the shelf. But it's a refrigerated product. So anyway, we hired a food scientist. We made our own protein powder. Came out last year, right before Expo West, with a new branding and a new reformulation, and it's just been incredible. We're in over 350 stores. But this past January, last month, we launched in Target on the East Coast, going from Maine down to Virginia.
Wow.
Actually North Carolina. And we have a May rollout in this May coming, and we're going into 4 more of Target's distribution centers. So one is in Sacramento, Russell. So hopefully,
Woo, close.
hopefully it'll be in a Target near you.
Yay, that's awesome.
My big thing is I donate a percentage of all sales to breast cancer research, because I'm a numbers data person, and my doctors actually used research and data and analytics to determine the course of treatment. If my number was this, I didn't need to do that, or if it was this, I could come off of this medicine. So it's been a crazy journey. Never thought that I'd be in business with my husband. Never thought I'd sell protein balls or learn manufacturing and all the things. We weren't entrepreneurs. We weren't food people. And so it's been a crazy learning path.
Yeah.
And so I'm just looking forward to, what else we're doing and growing it and leaving a legacy.
That's amazing.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Thanks. It's quite a journey. It's just things you never expected, the twists and turns. You think you have your all figured out, and then even at my age, when I realized I had nothing figured out at all. And every day should be not taken for granted, and everybody around you, and of course you do become more grateful when you have health scares or scares of any kinds or reality checks. But it really is true. My grandma, she smoked a lot of cigarettes, and then she had emphysema, and she just had a positive attitude through all of it. And at the end, she was on oxygen. And you guys are probably too old, too young. Well, Dan, you definitely are. Russell, if you have kids in your 30s, you may be close to me. But
Yes.
do you remember a TV show called The Travel Channel with Robin Leach?
Oh, yes.
Remember Robin?
So-
I know.
Okay, good. So this guy on Friday nights, he would take you to a new country. And my grandma at the end, she would say, "Lori, I'm going to India tonight," or "I'm going to Japan." And she used to say attitude is everything. And it could not be more true, because 2 people could literally be going through the same thing at the same time. One is positive and looks for the silver lining, and the other is like, why me, poor me? And your mindset and the way you think is really going to control the outcomes, in my opinion. So
Yeah, 100%.
Scott calls himself a converted optimist, because he didn't start that way. I would say
that's
something.
fantastic.
That's funny.
The first word out of my mouth is yes, and the first word out of his mouth used to be no. I don't think so. And now he goes, no, oh, maybe.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
Oh
Glass
man.
half full now for Scott.
it's not easy. But you know what? I find that if I think big, and that's my goal, then I can settle for it,
Yes.
and I just raising money for research is just so important because it's everyone is touched by breast cancer. It's not the only charity I raise money for. There's a lot of charities. BCRF is one, Breast Cancer Research Foundation. I also raise money for a great charity called Runway for Recovery, and they do events in California. And the April events coming up here, they raise money for families of people going through um, either breast cancer treatment or the survivors, or just really supporting the families. So there's just so many charities and so many things you could support. But I feel very mission aligned with what I do.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
that's amazing. It's amazing. Lori, so throughout this whole process and the origin of Scott's Protein Bowls, you created this clean snack. I wouldn't just say for breast cancer, but just in general for people on an everyday basis. How would you say that clean nutrition and people's disciplined performance and daily habits are kind of aided by Scott's Protein Bowls? I think it makes things easier for them and, just their daily habits and their daily routines, right?
Absolutely. It was created out of love for me, my having breast cancer, but it's a snack for all ages. We actually have 3 flavors that have no nuts in them, and that's a big differentiating factor for us.
Yeah.
The brands that we sit on the shelf with, who we're proud to sit on the shelf with, they don't have nut-free flavors. So that means kids are eating it. So we sell the product at a children's museum in the Hamptons, and I
Mhm.
see little 2-year-olds sitting in a stroller sucking on a protein ball filled with chia seeds and flax seeds and oats or oat flour and healthy, things, and they think they're eating candy
Yeah.
because like our confetti flavor tastes like birthday cake. We have a brownie flavor, tastes like brownie. Our peanut butter cacao is our most popular. Then we have a coffee flavor, a mint. Right now, red velvet is out, but really people eat it like maybe going to the gym. You want a quick snack, leaving the gym, or you can throw it in your backpack or briefcase or kids' lunchbox because even though they're refrigerated, they're fine on the go for up to 3 days. Um, so and like for me, I have a sweet tooth, so I eat it for dessert at night also. So, and I have been known if I'm stuck in my car working to eat like the 4-pack, but it's still just over 300 calories, even for 4 balls. I get 20 grams of protein, super clean ingredients, and Dan, it's like you said, it's got the right combinations of fat and the healthy fats and the protein, the pea protein, the healthy protein sources, and fiber that you don't crash, like other things like
Yeah.
I'm selling obviously on my website and in stores, but a whole new line of business for us this year is we are going into food service, corporate pantries. We started last year and it's huge. You used to go to a meeting, they'd put out a plate of cookies at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You'd eat them because you wanted them and I ate them. But now companies are putting out a plate of protein balls. And so we're selling in the food service in this one little pack, which was COVID friendly. Those were our samples, but now I turned them around. I was at Expo West last year, and somebody came over, and we give out the 1 ball samples. And she said, "How much do you sell these for?" And I said, "Oh, we don't sell those. There are." And then I said, "Oh, I mean $1." So we went into the food service business that day. And it's great. And the companies, they throw them in a big bowl in the fridge,
Yeah.
and it's a great thing for employees to eat. Companies are trying to get their employees to A, come back to work, B, stay there and be happy. And I do a lot of events and stuff, and it's a good thing to have. And on our website, we sell in 20 packs, so they're resealable. You keep them in your freezer. But in stores, we sell in 2 packs and in 4 packs, and in airports, we sell in 4 packs. And so you can mix and match. You can have different flavors. Everybody's got their favorites, but we rarely meet someone who doesn't like at least one of the flavors. So even my mom, who's a really picky eater, is cinnamon almond butter all day long.
Yeah.
She actually carries them around and won't share them with her friends. So she and I'm like, Mom, like you could be helping me grow my business, like give them a coupon code, get them to order. I have to give her, like, make her postcards that she can hand out with the coupon code for her friends, so that they become customers. But I'm grateful for opportunities like this to share our story. For me, to be able to show my kids, like, I came back to the workforce, in a whole other capacity, making money, donating to breast cancer research. And now they're like, okay, Mom, that's great. You did that now. Like, you better be ready to be a grandma. You got to shift gears again. So, life just is interesting and relevant. And I'm gonna, I think my grandson will take over he's a boy, by the way.
Yay.
I think he's gonna take over my business one day. So
Absolutely.
start him out right.
Well, I can attest. I probably have tasted 5 different flavors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was not one that I did not like. Like, they were good.
Thank you.
And I didn't add
Thank
water.
you. Thank you.
I didn't
Thank
add
you.
water either. So
I'm gonna send you guys Red Velvet. It's out right now.
I haven't had that one. I was just going to say, I haven't had the red velvet.
It's a winner. It's a winner. That one has cashew butter. It also has some almond milk in it, and it's just it's so much fun. We were going to get rid of it at the end of February again, but sales are really good, so we're gonna keep it around for a little while.
Good.
You guys have any ideas for flavors that you'd like to see?
Ooh.
I like to ask this question.
Good question.
Yeah.
Should I name the flavors?
Have you done?
Have?
Yeah. Actually, that was one of my questions. How many different flavors do you have?
Okay, so we have peanut butter cacao. That's the OG. Then we have chocolate peanut latte, which is similar to the chocolate peanut butter cacao, but it has coffee. So I eat 2 of those for breakfast every day. Then cinnamon almond butter, which is like a healthy Snickers bar or something.
Okay.
Mint chocolate chip, which is like a healthy Girl Scout cookie. And what am I forgetting? Am I forgetting one? I think that's all the regular flavors.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we have confetti. Thank you, Dan. You're a fan. Confetti is a real popular one. It's a vanilla based, like, birthday cake type flavor. And then we have pumpkin spice comes out seasonally. We just retired peppermint bark, and now red velvet's here. So we're going back to the kitchen, back to the lab, and we're going to come out with something later. We are doing something later this year where we might combine it with a new flavor, but we've been testing functional mushrooms in our test kitchen with the protein balls, and they don't change the taste and they don't change the texture. So later this year, we're going to release one, and it's going to help. It's going to be for cognitive function and brain health. This is going to be more of a functional nootropic ball. And so that one will be really exciting for us because it puts us in another, in a new space. Right now, we're a great source of protein and fiber, low sugar. So we're competing in an arena, but that will put us in another place altogether where people don't want to take pills anymore. They rather eat medicine as food. And so we're going to be at, like, the intersection of all of that. All right, I gave you enough time to think. All right.
Here's my take.
I got one too.
Okay.
All right.
So I love rainbow sherbet when it comes to, like, an ice cream. So I'm thinking something like Tropicana, like something that's very, when you bite in it, it takes you to a remote island of freshness.
Okay.
Right.
I like that.
So,
I like that.
Okay. So there's my input.
And we've been asked for fruit type flavors. We don't have any fruit yet, like, flavor. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Russell.
I
All
can
right,
see
Dan,
that.
what have you got for me?
I'll weigh in real quick on Russ's suggestion. I think that maybe even like a strawberry-ish may work out somewhere in there. Maybe a strawberry-ish type flavor.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on the other end.
I like it.
I'm going to go on the other things here. So you have like a mint chocolate chip already, which is Girl Scoutish. I'm a huge Samoa fan. So something along the coconut chocolate realm.
I do like that. I do like that very much.
I kind of like that idea of coconut chocolate. I mean, I don't know what do you think about that? I know you're on the sherbet thing, but
well, we're going to come out with more than one. So
what about have you ever done anything with, like, caramel?
No. So our products are they're raw, so they're
Yeah.
refrigerated. And so I haven't tested that, but I can
Okay.
try. We moved to a new manufacturing facility, and then we'll have the capability of stuffing the ball. So that might be
Oh,
like a good thing to put in the middle, like the caramel. Like ultimately, we'll get the peanut butter in the middle of the ball and
yeah.
stuff.
I
So
love peanut butter.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna add all those ideas to my list.
Cool.
Yeah, and we use all clean ingredients. Our products are all the ingredients are organic, not the nut butters yet, because the cost is prohibitive right now for us. Um, but we are scaling up. We have a very big private label deal coming up in May. I think I started to mention that earlier. We're going to be in 2,000 stores nationwide in a private label deal, which is
Nice.
pretty exciting. And we're also in the middle of a fundraise because we are expanding and growing like crazy. So we need to increase our marketing spends. We want to bring on a sales team and some operations help. We're going to really grow. This will be our real breakout year. So it's exciting. It's really exciting.
That's very
So
exciting.
lots of like amazing things are coming here for us.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Thanks. I'm proud.
Yeah,
Starting
you should be. That's a lot of hard work.
It's a
starting a
lot.
liquor store, Lori.
It's a
Unbelievable.
lot.
Like just
And
to think,
eventually I like to write a book and just really raise money for research, and just be even more charitable driven, and just I don't know what's next. You can plan and plan, like I said, but oh my god, who knew when I was
Who
sitting in
knew?
those accounting classes in college.
there you go.
Thinking about Scott.
Yeah, think about
Thinking about.
We will be married 37 years in August,
Congratulations.
that's amazing.
so it's crazy. Not
Yeah.
expecting to be business partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What marital advice do you have for Dan?
Oh wow! All right, what stage are you at, Dan?
uh pre
Dating.
yeah, dating. Pre-engaged.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, I mean, I think at that point, the best thing you could do is just listen and nod and say yes.
I do that with Russ.
Okay, that's my best
He does.
advice. Um, I think that's a good thing. I think I think just being friends and having respect is really everything. You know,
Sure.
since we've had to go into business together, sometimes I want to kill him. Probably pretty sure he feels the same way once in a while. But it's just, at the beginning I would be mad. I'd be like, why didn't you get that done? That's your job. And then I realized he's doing the best he can. He then had to realize she's doing the best she can. And you sort of just like, I guess because we're married for so long, like you really understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. And
Mhm.
I guess the sooner you learn those and you appreciate them, and this is your person, you just kind of get into a rhythm.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
sure.
yeah,
Sure.
for sure. You
Yeah.
so what do you do? You're both driven people. You're doing this together. You're expanding your business. Looking for alternate names, alternate protein balls, all that kind of stuff to add, and so your mind is constantly doing this. What do
Mhm.
you do, and what does Scott do to stay healthy and to stay balanced?
Good question. We eat protein balls. I have to say that first. Um,
The go-to answer.
we since we've met, we both love to work out. Scott's got his routines, and I've got mine. I do Soul Cycle. That's one of my favorites. I like to walk, and I like to swim. Scott just, if you give him an hour in the gym, he just smiles all day long. He does his own workouts, music from like online programs and apps, and we eat healthy, we eat clean, but it's funny, when I was going through my treatment and stuff, the parking garage, Dan, you'll probably know the reference. The parking garage was next door to an Insomnia Cookies.
Yeah.
And I made the very, very poor decision that whenever I had radiation, I was entitled to an Insomnia cookie. And at the time, it felt right. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But afterwards, it felt really bad. And so, you know the difference of when you're eating clean and when you're not eating clean. And we've become attuned to that. So, we know we're really on the same page. Like, do you want to go get a cheeseburger? Or should we, I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm a person who believes in balance. So, if I want something sweet, I eat it. If I want a piece of meat, I eat it, and I don't judge anybody for the way they live. But for me, I don't like to deprive myself. If I want something, it's because probably my body wants something,
Yeah.
So I think my way of living, and Scott's too, is just balance, really. A
Yeah.
little bit of everything, but not too much of anything.
For sure.
What is that go to? What is that go to when you're like, you're not eating clean and all of a sudden you just want to like indulge in something? What would that be?
Chocolate chip cookie.
Okay.
That's me. And Scott is probably pizza.
Pizza. Okay.
Pizza. Yeah. Yeah. But you have to live your life. You only get one.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And
you're both New Yorkers. What is the best pizza in New York?
oh,
Your
wow.
opinion.
Oh God, I have to give
That's
credit
hard.
to the local places because I have to go there later, to get stuff.
All in only.
I'm gonna have to go with La Piazza in Plainview, New York.
Good call. Good call.
All
Okay.
right, have you
Yeah.
had it, Dan?
I have.
Okay. The
Lafayette's
local.
good. I go to the Merrick one, but yes.
Okay. I grew up in actually in Belmore on the South Shore.
I'm from Belmore too. Yep.
Wow, I think I'm a bit older.
I'm from Belmore. I'm at Massapequa Park now.
Wow. Well, I raised my kids in Plainview in New York. They went to college in the Midwest, and now they're both in the city. So we're pretty East Coast kind of people.
Yeah.
Russ, have you lived in other places?
I'm a Cali boy.
He's the smart one, right?
Yeah, I say the same thing.
I'm the Cali boy.
Say the same thing all the time to him.
We'll be coming out for Expo West in about 2 weeks. Russell,
Wonderful.
we're coming out to Anaheim. Yeah.
That's awesome. Are you going to hook up with Dave?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He's a partner in our company, as you are, as Craig Siegel. We're grateful for you guys to believed in us, from the beginning. That was one of the first events where we really got up and told the story on a panel, and it gets easier to talk about it. At the beginning, when we first launched the brand, it was COVID and we were doing demos, and we were wearing masks, and it was really hard. But, at the beginning, I had someone working for me, and we would set up a table outside of a bagel store, and she'd say, and this is Lori Levine, our founder and survivor. And I would cringe, and I'd be like, wait, she's talking about me? Like, I didn't own it. I didn't believe it. And then as time went on, like, it became who I am and what I am. And now not only do I own it, I lead with it. And same with Scott. It was a hard pill to swallow, but once you realize, like, good thing, you can have breast cancer and then you can, like, start a business and raise money for charity. Like, you really can find good things and bad things if you look hard enough.
Yeah.
That's
true.
that's what I learned, and and that's the takeaway for me.
Absolutely. Lori, Scott's Protein Bowl seems to have this community style feel to it. Can you maybe share a story or a message from a customer or a patron of Scott's Protein Bowls that reminded you kind of why you started the journey, or a success story from somebody who's, kind of relayed back to you that they love the product or they got them through cancer, something along those lines?
You know what? We actually hear that a lot.
Yeah.
One thing is that we hear is, my kid won't eat anything,
Yeah.
and then they eat these. So that always makes us happy, because kids are picky, and, like, you can give these to your kid and know that they're getting nourishment when they don't know. So that's one. I love stories when we hear that people are hiding them from each other in their own homes. So we have a neighbor that lives around the block, and I was giving her the protein balls for a year. And that was that. And then a year later, they invite us over for lunch, and we go over, and her husband opens the door, and I hand him a bag of them. And he literally says, "What is this?" And I was like, what do you mean? Donna's been eating these for a year. She never told him. She was hiding them in the back of the freezer behind the peas, and he never even knew about them. So it's become a thing. Like, husbands and wives get mad at each other when the bag's empty. Like the kids and the parents, everybody's hiding them from each other. But they're fitting into specific times of people's days. And so, but I've also had people tell me like that their mother was dying and that like she couldn't really eat much, but this helped them get protein in that they needed. Like our oldest customers are in their 90s. And they can, it's also, I didn't mention this earlier, but we're a GLP-1 friendly product. We're an Ozempic friendly product.
Sure.
So I know a lot of people who can't eat a lot. They're not hungry. So they get to choose what they eat because they don't have to eat as much as they used to. And they're only choosing things that taste good and things that give them nourishment. A lot of people on those products, I've been told, I'm not a nutritionist, but have had muscle loss or hair loss or other side effects. And this snack, our protein balls, gives you protein in good ways, and especially when your stomach isn't telling you you're hungry. So people with eating disorders eat them because they at least are getting some nourishment. I've been told this by therapists. So it's coming to us in ways we never expected. We just expected it to be a gym snack or a breakfast or a dessert, but really it's so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What about like elementary, junior high, high schools, stuff like that?
So part of the whole food service thing that I mentioned earlier, and with the selling them in the one ball samples, that's exactly what we're approaching this year, the school districts and everything. The products are not made in a nut-free facility, but as every nut-free product states, it's right on the packaging. But I was on an airplane the other day and they said, please don't eat anything with peanuts because we have someone who has an airborne allergy. So unless there's an airborne allergy, anyone can eat these anywhere. And so airlines we're looking into, you get a little snack in the middle of the meal. We could be that snack rather than a little cookie or whatever. Whenever we fly, Scott gives the stewardesses protein balls and they're like, thank you. I've been on my feet for literally 12 hours and I haven't been able to eat anything. It's such a good, we've changed our marketing this year more to we're nutrition on the go. We're a portable snack because we are, and we're fresh,
Yeah. I love it. I think the airline is a great idea because, when I get on there and have their snacks, their snacks are good and they're usually salty, right?
Oh, yeah.
I like salt, but they're usually salty, but they're not enough. Like it's just very, but you think about a protein ball, like this is sufficient. Like, and you don't have to inhale the thing. Like you just nibble on it and it just tastes good. The flavor's good. And it actually will, fill you up a little bit. Right.
Thank you.
So
it satisfies what you're looking for. But then when you're done, it doesn't leave you with that chalky aftertaste that you get from most everything. Store bought, ours is refrigerated and fresh. People say, why is it in the refrigerator? What's in it that makes it be in the refrigerator? And I say, what's not in it that makes it be in the refrigerator? No preservatives. But ours leaves you with a good taste. When my nutritionist said no protein bars, she called it the wall of shame. And my secret sauce is being fresh from the fridge. I don't want to be in that crowded category. She taught me to shop the outer aisles of the supermarket, where the freshest. Sorry, the dogs are back, barking at nothing. Sorry.
That's all right.
But yeah, you're supposed to shop the clean parts of the store.
100%. Most of the inner aisles are like the chips and everything like that. The whole idea
all
is
of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Something in a can that'll be there until like the end of time.
Yeah, 100%. Majority of the protein bars, I mean, just from a standpoint of taste, don't even taste that good.
No.
So it's like it's a double wham to me because I'm eating something that doesn't taste that good and it's not good for me.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, where am I benefiting right now?
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I feel. Like there's the ones I turn to are like epic bars and stuff like that I've looked at that are a little bit better because they kind of fit more of like a carnivore style approach and things like that. But other stuff, like if you look, they're all proprietary blend stuff. They have like a million things in them.
100%.
Like all this stuff.
And sugar. There's so much sugar. And as a breast cancer survivor, I don't want to eat all that sugar, and you were conditioned by marketing. You hear protein bar. Oh, that's healthy. It's
Yeah.
not. It's
Ah,
not. And ours are plant based. So we get in as much protein as we possibly can to make the metrics macros work and to make it taste good. But
sure.
some of them have whey, and they have 30 grams of protein, which is fine if you don't care, about eating the milk product, or if you don't mind whey or have dairy allergies, but they're filled with sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to read the backs. And we used to not be educated as consumers. Now my kids, are millennials, and they read everything. They're not going to just eat it because it says
Right.
something, because they think it's healthy.
Yeah.
It's very different than the way I grew up. I whatever was there is what I ate. I didn't
That's
know.
it.
You thought a Snickers bar was a snack that was healthy. You didn't know. You ate potato chips, a whole bag if you felt like it.
Yeah.
Dan Scott says with the protein bars, he picks the one that sucks the least, and that becomes his new favorite. If he doesn't break a tooth, that's his favorite.
Way to look at it.
And I'm not naming names, but
No, it's so true. It's so true.
and ours are fun. Ours are fun, and they're also portion controlled. If
Yeah.
you buy the 4-pack or the 20-pack, they're resealable, so you could eat one. I got a text the other day from someone who said, my package just came and I ate 5. Is that okay? But yeah, if it was a meal, or someone will say, I ate half the bag on the way home. But it's certainly better than eating a half a bag of Oreos
Exactly.
That's
or
right.
something else that you could do, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was just going to say. It's way better than eating half a bag of chips or something like that.
Yeah.
100%.
It's just funny, because it started as a joke. When we first started and we realized I was going to turn it into a business, Scott incorporated it as Scott's Balls LLC. And now we're a real company, and we're talking to like Target, and they're like, okay, what's the proper name? And we're like, Scott's Balls LLC. Like, that's our incorporated name. And at the beginning,
Oh,
everybody who wanted it, we didn't have a company, and Scott was just making bags and bags of it, and they were called Scott's Balls. And I'm not going to go into the jokes, but I'm sure you can imagine. Everybody wanted Scott's Balls, and I have to lean in because that's the name of my company. So sometimes I call myself the chief ball handler, but that's the company. So, and we've often been asked to change the name, but it stuck. It
yeah.
just stuck. And
It's a great
Melissa
name.
has cupcakes, and a lot of people have Dave has Killer Bread.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who have products.
Yeah.
So these are Scott's.
I wouldn't change the name for that reason, because I think it's funny and I think it sticks in people's minds. That's why I would not change the name.
And that's the thing we were told early on. They said no one's going to forget that name.
That's right.
Exactly.
And
Absolutely.
that's kind of what happened. So it's
Nope.
still here.
Hey, it's working, right? You're expanding.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
we are.
that's awesome.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
I just
Yeah, what are you gonna say? Go ahead.
I'm grateful for you guys taking the time to listen to my story, and
Absolutely.
and
Of course.
that you believe in us and the product. It's heartwarming, really.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I have a friend that just asked a couple of yesterday, actually. So she is an avid listener to our podcast, and she's like, "So, who is your guest this week?" And so I messaged her and just said, this is going to be a great show. You are going to want to listen in to
Thank you.
Lori's story. So
Thanks.
I'm sure she's listening right now.
Thanks. I also do. I like to support people, and so if someone that is going through a breast cancer journey, you can let me know, and I'll be happy to send them balls.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Of course. It's the least
Lori,
I could do.
Lori, where can people find Scott's Protein Bowls? Instagram or your website? Tell us a little bit about that real quick.
Thank you. Best is our website, scottsproteinballs.com. We are also on Amazon. You can find us on the East Coast in a lot of Targets. But if you go on our website, there's a store locator, or just right from the website would be great. We run sales. If you sign up, you'll get coupon codes. That's really, we're growing. We're going to be in a town near you, Russell.
Let's
Wonderful.
go.
You know,
Thank you.
if everybody that's listening today in the future, make sure that you order Scott's protein balls. Give it a try. I guarantee not only will you like it, but you will be an annual avid customer because not only are they healthy, they're delicious. It's a great
Thank
snack.
you.
You can hide them from your spouse in the fridge behind the peas. You do whatever. Dan, you can start a new thing in your household.
That's
So,
it.
but yeah, you definitely support these guys because
Thank you.
not only is it a story of resilience, Lori, and overcoming cancer, but you're also giving back to those who are going through it now. So, great business, great family, great company. I just,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
people support Scott's Protein Balls.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to create a code today called Dual Podcast 20. And everyone who orders with that code can get 20% off their order.
Oh, wonderful.
Awesome.
When we hang up, I'll create the code.
Amazing.
Dual Coast 20. All
Dual
right.
Coast 20. 20%
All right,
off.
everybody listening, make sure that you type that in and support Scott and Lori in their endeavor to continue to grow and create healthy people.
That's right.
Grateful
With
for you
with
guys.
great snacks. Lori, got one more question for you.
Sure.
So we always end with this statement that wellness is not about perfection, but it's about progress. What does that statement mean to you?
I think it means that if you fall off your path, get back on. Just give yourself grace and get back up, get up and get back on your path.
Mm,
We're all human.
we are.
For sure.
Love it.
Love it.
And we all fall off.
Yeah.
Always. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just got to get back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said.
Perfect.
Lori, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
guys. Thank you. This was really
a guest
fun.
today. Thank you for sharing your story, your heart,
Thank
your
you.
message.
You guys are great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
been
Thank you.
it's been an amazing time with you this morning.
Thank you both. I'm grateful, and we'll get Scott next time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sounds
He'll
great.
have plenty to say.
And Dan, where can people find this show?
So, Lori Levine, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Please check us out on all Instagram, all social media handles at Dual Coast Podcast, TikTok, X, Facebook. Check us out at Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Amazon Music, live on YouTube every Tuesday. Guys, please check us out. Lori Levine, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Protein
Very
Balls.
fun.
Everybody go tune into Scott's Protein Balls. Check them out on Instagram. Go to their website. Get yourself some Scott's Balls. See you guys next week.
What could I
Fresh.
say?
Fresh.